Section 5 of Poems of American History, the Colonial Era. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Greg Giordano, Newport Richey, Florida. Poems of American History, the Colonial Era. Chapter 1. The Discovery of America, Part 5. Royal favor is capricious, and Columbus had his full share of enemies at court. These, in the end, succeeded in gaining the king's ear. Columbus was arrested in San Domenico and sent back to Spain in chains. Isabella ordered them struck off, and promised him that he should be reimbursed for his losses and restored to all his dignities, but the promise was never kept. Columbus in chains, August 1500. Are these the honors they reserve for me? Chains for the man who gave new worlds to Spain. Rest here, my swelling heart, O kings, O queens, patrons of monsters and their progeny, authors of wrong, and slaves to fortune merely. Why was I seated by my prince's side, honored, caressed like some first peer of Spain? Was it that I might fall most suddenly from honor's summit to the sink of scandal? 'Tis done, 'tis done. What madness is ambition? What is there in that little breath of men, which they call fame, that should induce the brave to forfeit ease and that domestic bliss, which is the lot of happy ignorance, less glorious aims and dull humility? Whoever thou art that shall aspire to honor, and on the strength and vigor of the mind, vainly depending, court a monarch's favor, pointing the way to vast extended empire. First count your pay to be ingratitude, then chains and prisons and disgrace like mine. Each wretched pilot now shall spread his sails, and treading in my footsteps hail new worlds, which, but for me, had still been empty visions. Philip Freneau. On November 7, 1504, Columbus landed in Spain after a fourth voyage to America, during which he had endured sufferings and privations almost beyond description. He was a broken man, and the last blow was the death of Isabella, 19 days after he reached Seville. Her death left him without patron or protector, and the last 18 months of his life were spent in sickness and poverty. He died at Valladolid, May 20, 1506. Columbus dying, May 20, 1506. Hark! Do I hear again the roar of the tides by the Indies sweeping down? Or is it the surge from the viewless shore that swells to bear me to my crown? Life is hollow and cold and drear, with smiles that darken and hopes that flee, and, far from its winds that faint and veer, I am ready to sail the vaster sea. Lord, thou knowest I love thee best, and that scorning peril and toil and pain, I held my way to the mystic West, glory for thee and thy church to gain. And thou didst lead me, only thou, cheering my heart in cloud and calm, till the dawn my glad, victorious prow greeted thine isles of bloom and balm. And then, O gracious, glorious Lord, I saw thy face, and all heaven come nigh, and my soul was lost in that rich reward, and ravished with hope of the bliss on high. So I can meet the sovereign's frown, my dear queen gone, with a large disdain, for the time will come when his chief renown will be that I sailed from his realm of Spain. I have found new lands, a world maybe, whose splendor will yet the old outshine, and life and death are alike to me, for earth will honor, and heaven is mine. Is mine what songs of sweet accord, what billows that nearer, gentler roll, is mine. Into thy hands, O Lord, into thy hands I give my soul. Edna Dean Proctor. Columbus. Give me white paper. This which you use is black and rough with smears of sweat and grime and fraud and blood and tears, crossed with the story of men's sins and fears, of battle and of famine all these years, when all God's children had forgot their birth, and drudged and fought and died like beasts of earth. Give me white paper. One storm-trained seaman listened to the word. What no man saw, he saw. He heard what no man heard. In answer he compelled the sea, to eager man to tell the secret she had kept so well, left blood and guilt and tyranny behind, sailing still west the hidden shore to find. For all mankind that unstained scroll unfurled, where God might write anew the story of the world. Edward Everett Hale. Columbus and the Mayflower. O little fleet, that on thy quest divine Sailedst from Palos one bright autumn morn, say, has old Ocean's bosom ever borne as freight of faith and hope to match with thine? Say, too, has heaven's high favor given again such consummation of desire as shone about Columbus when he rested on the new-found world and married it to Spain? Answer, thou refuge of the freeman's need, thou for whose destinies no kings looked out, nor sages to resolve some mighty doubt. Thou simple Mayflower of the salt sea mead, when thou wert wafted to that distant shore, gay flowers, bright birds, rich odors met thee not, stern nature hailed thee to a sterner lot. God gave free earth and air, and gave no more. Thus to men, cast in that heroic mould, came empire such as Spaniard never knew, such empire as beseems the just and true. And at the last, almost unsought, came gold. But he who rules both calm and stormy days can guard that people's heart, that nation's health, safe on the perilous heights of power and wealth, as in the straightness of the ancient ways. Lord Houghton. End of Section 5.